Chosen one. Listen carefully to what I'm about to tell you because right now things are shifting in ways that don't make sense. This is the year of sorting, the year when doors close and you're left wondering why every plan, every connection, every opportunity that once looked wide open now stands locked, cold and silent. You try to recall what you did wrong. You comb through every conversation, you replay every meeting in slow motion, straining to find that moment. Was there a look you missed? A thing you should have said, some step you didn't take? But the truth is, these closed doors are not punishments. They are not the mark of failure. They're not meant to shut you out, but to point you in the right direction, to funnel you toward the open corridor that nobody else can see but you. Because you're chosen, because you're marked, because right now heaven itself is orchestrating what stays and what goes. Let me take you into what it feels like in this season. At first you think it's just a bad week, a little dip in momentum, a canceled meeting here, a delayed payment there. Then all at once the pattern emerges. Every email that goes unanswered, every phone call sent to voicemail, every "let's connect soon" that dissolves into silence. It starts to sting. These weren't just acquaintances, these were friends, trusted allies. Family members who once cheered for you when the lights were bright and the path was clear. You're left staring at your phone, hoping for a message that never lands, a ring that never comes. It's not just uncomfortable. It's a rejection you can't reason with. But let me tell you, what feels like subtraction is protection. What's clearing out is only making space for divine multiplication. What you're losing wasn't meant to last the next season, and what you're gaining requires an empty table, a clear runway, a clean slate. The sorting happens in the unseen first. You sense it late at night, especially in the moments before dawn. Let me take you into the 3 a.m. hour, when exhaustion folds into anxiety and your mind won't let go of the things you can't fix. Your body feels heavy, but your thoughts are sharp as needles. You toss from left to right, pillow pulled over your head, covers kicked off, then dragged back on. Your heart keeps a broken rhythm, pounding, racing, then dropping as memories crash through. Regret, confusion, a creeping sadness, an almost physical ache in your chest. Maybe you try to whisper a prayer in the dark, hope tumbling out of your lips but bouncing back as a dull echo. You reach for your phone, scrolling through old photos and texts, gripping for some connection, a sign that you're not invisible. You close your eyes and see the faces that used to fill your days, the laughter that used to ring in your ears. Sleep is a battlefield and you are losing. You get up, walk the hallway, drink water, open a window, try a podcast or the faint blue light of a television. Minutes bleed into hours and all the tricks stall but never soothe. Morning sunlight finally breaks through and it offers no relief. Only the reminder that you have to try again, to show your face, to stay in the game with energy you don't have. You wear the mask, shaking hands, answering questions, telling half-truths about how you're doing fine when every cell in your body is screaming. Why did they leave? Why did they disappear? Why am I standing in a hallway of closed doors? But hear me. This sorting is sacred. This private agony is not random pain, but the first draft of your deliverance story. Let me show you exactly what happens with your finances in this season. You notice the little things drying up. Small deals that should have been simple keep getting delayed. Payments that always arrived like clockwork move to the bottom of other people's priority lists. People who once owed you money refuse to answer, or worse, pretend to forget their obligations. You reconcile spreadsheets at midnight, holding your breath, looking for errors. Maybe you missed an invoice. Maybe you dropped the ball. The money sits still or moves slowly, and the numbers make you nervous. Still, the most brutal blow comes when something significant, an offer, a long-term project, a funding conversation, just evaporates for no clear reason. It's not that you weren't qualified. It's that you were overqualified because God would not let you anchor your hope to a ship that was never yours to sail. These setbacks try to convince you the future is shrinking, but in fact, what's being withheld is only the wrong harvest. Wait, because right now resources are being redirected. Fresh streams are opening. Unexpected refunds, forgotten credits, new work from places you never looked. Muted now, but about to resound suddenly overnight without warning. Now listen to how relationships shift during the year of sorting. Friends who used to stand beside you stop returning your calls. Family members who once included you in every gathering somehow forget to invite you, or you arrive and sense the cold wall of indifference. You try to explain yourself and end up sounding defensive. The arguments escalate over nothing. Old wounds reopened, harmless jokes turning sour. You grieve the loss while it's still happening, mourning what isn't even gone yet, but already it lingers like a ghost at the edge of your life. It feels cruel, like targeted loneliness, but let me tell you, these are the removals making room for real covenant. The ones drifting away can't handle your destiny. They're allergic to your next level assignment. The isolation is not a sentence, it's a shield. The people who matter will find a way in. The ones who drift are simply not licensed for your next harvest. Let me break down the career and platform consequences. How the sorting touches your purpose. You send out proposals and they get ignored. You reposition, you revamp, you update your portfolio knowing you're better now than ever before, and still the algorithm works against you. The doors don't budge. There's an audience waiting but not watching. There's favor somewhere but not here, not yet. Others get promoted on half your effort, your skill, your vision. It's enough to make you question the call itself. Did you misunderstand it, exaggerate it? But right now, your platform is being pruned. The stages that shut you out were only going to limit your voice. Smaller now, but soon, suddenly, overnight, the right stage, the right platform, the right listeners will gather and you won't chase. You'll be ushered in. Let me explain what happens to your reputation. The whispers, the mislabeling, the strange rumors. People you've never met have opinions about your motives, your character, your abilities. You hear about conversations you weren't in, stories that aren't even true. It stings because you've worked to walk in integrity, and yet your name moves through circles you can't control. You want to defend yourself, correct the record, explain away the lies. But fighting every rumor is a losing game. Eventually, you come to understand. In the year of sorting, what isn't from God will wither. The gossip, the slander, the attempts to muddy your image, they burn out because there's no substance to them. You keep living, keep working, and suddenly overnight, vindication comes public. The very mouths that fabricated lies run out of stories. Your record is cleared not by your argument, but by the fruit of your steadfastness. Here's what you need to understand about spiritual torment in the sorting season. The true pain isn't what people say or do, but the silent war in your own mind. The temptation to believe it was all for nothing. To agree with the lie that you missed your chance. Prayers seem to hit the ceiling and bounce back. Old temptations reemerge. Old insecurities wake up. You stand at the crossroads between settling and pressing forward. But this chaos is proof of just how close you are. The noise in your soul is the last snarl of resistance before breakthrough. Every sleepless night, every whispered accusation, every tear, God counts them all and writes them into your reward. Chosen one. Right now, heaven decrees what has been sorted out can never claim you again. Every closed door is locked for a reason. Every lost connection is a completed chapter. Every rumor is dust. Every withheld opportunity is fertilizer for what's next. They tried to shelf you, but you're now positioned for release. They misjudged you, but overnight your name will be honored. They planned for you to be contained, but suddenly you're about to overflow. They whispered to block your path, but now you walk untouched. This is the year of holy sorting. The distractions are gone, the leeches cut off, the fake doors sealed shut. All that closed was never meant for you. What now opens will not be shut by any hand on earth. Stand ready. The real door swings wide, suddenly, overnight, now. Let me take you even deeper into this moment, chosen one, because the story doesn't end with doors closing and hearts breaking. Right now, on the other side of what looks like rejection, a reversal is being written that you can't see coming, not with human eyes. You wake up day after day expecting nothing but more silence, more gaps, more unanswered questions. The accounts look the same. The calendar sits empty. Your inbox echoes with old threads and no new hope. But beneath that surface, heaven's hand is in motion. There's an overturn taking shape, a turnabout in the halls you were shut out from. Behind the scenes, names are being spoken, meetings are being held, circumstances are shifting, and none of it has reached your ears yet. But destiny never announces itself with fanfare. It shows up as an interruption, a call you never thought would come, an email at midnight, a door you stopped knocking on that swings open so wide, you forget how long you waited outside. Suddenly, the meeting is not about what they want to borrow from you. It's about what they're prepared to offer. The reversal begins quietly, then comes like floodwaters breaking a dam. Offer after offer, handshakes that last, agreements that stick. The very thing you thought was lost forever returns with interest on top. Restored, replenished, pressed down, shaken together, running over, and you stand there still trying to catch your breath. Let me show you the faces of reversal. Those who turned away in your hour of need. Those who ghosted you, watched you falter, dismissed your value. Now they're calling, texting, sliding into your inbox, wanting to reconnect, wanting to explain, offering apologies they rehearsed but never expected to say out loud. The tables aren't just turned, they're flipped. The ones who once closed doors now come seeking partnership, favor, a seat at your new table. You don't answer with bitterness, you don't gloat or boast, because the blessing is too heavy for smugness, too sacred for petty victories. You listen, but you don't beg. You bless, but you do not bargain. You remember the silence, and you understand now. It was necessary. It was a tunnel, not a tomb. When your name starts showing up in places you never entered, let that be your signal. The reversal is real, and the heavens never forget a seed planted with tears. They never ignore a lonely yes spoken when nobody else could hear. Let me explain how vindication feels on your skin, in your bones, in your very spirit. It doesn't always arrive with fireworks or applause. Sometimes it's the quiet recognition in a room that used to look through you. Sometimes it's the credit finally given for what you carried in secret. Other times it's the invitation that comes with your name at the top of the list. Those who doubted, questioned, misrepresented you, they're watching now as opportunities you once begged for are put before you by people who never even knew what you survived. Vindication is real, and in this season it shows up as restoration without explanation. Where people ridiculed, heaven now honors. Where they whispered doubt, circumstances now shout confirmation. Where they predicted your collapse, you rise, unapologetic, undeniable, unafraid. Not by your cleverness, not by your striving, but by the pure, unexplainable, unearned favor that follows the chosen. You don't have to defend your name. Time and fruit will do it for you. Look at how the reversal ripples through your finances. Out of nowhere, what you lost gets replaced with extra. The contract that left you hanging makes way for a new client, 10 times the value, permanent where the old one was temporary. The silence from previous partners is filled by unexpected advocates, doors you never knew existed. Refunds find their way to you. Grants get approved. Old debts are returned. some by people you forgot about. It feels almost unfair, almost suspicious, and yet every time you check, the numbers keep increasing. This isn't luck or coincidence. This is the raw, relentless goodness of a God who will not let your giving, your hurting, your waiting be wasted. When they ask how, you'll have no clever answer, only testimony. Every bill paid, every debt settled, every need met, not because you hustled, but because you trusted and stayed when leaving seemed easier. Let's talk about the relationships transformed in this healing wind. Those who left may stay gone, but the loneliness dissolves. Not into a crowd, but into covenant. People arrive who feel like destiny, who see your worth before you open your mouth, who stand with you in both wilderness and overflow. There are conversations that don't exhaust you, loyalty that doesn't have to be tested, laughter that isn't edged with competition. And for those who broke your heart but now return, forgiveness flows. Not to reattach, but to release, so nothing bitter trails you into your new circle. The old wounds are now scars with a story, not open sores. The past can no longer bleed into your future. Let me break open the moment of your commission, because vindication is never the end. The real assignment rises from the ashes of what you survived. Heaven didn't bring you this far just to put your feet up and reminisce about escape. There's new authority on your voice, new reach in your message, new clarity in your vision. Suddenly people pay attention when you speak. Doors you dreamed about start opening without effort. Invitations land at your feet, but this time you move with discernment. No rushing, no hustling, no frenzied scrambling to prove yourself. You choose where to go, knowing every option isn't for you, every platform isn't your assignment. God's commission sits heavy and holy. You are sent, not wandering, not grasping, but established. Everything that was withheld gets replaced with new mandates, bigger assignments, more influential tables. The very pain that tried to shrink you becomes the passport that grants you entry. You bring healing because you know injury. You build bridges because you walked abandoned roads. And authority feels different now, not loud, not arrogant, but gentle and sharp as a blade. Efficient, real, priceless. Let me show you what happens to your spiritual fire now. In the sorting season, you fought for every flicker of hope, every token of comfort. But vindication sets your faith ablaze. Suddenly you open your mouth and it's not just words but fire. You pray and the atmosphere shifts. You lay hands and things change. Your gifts are sharper, your eyes see through the fog, your discernment is next level. Battles that used to drain you can't even reach you. You sense attacks coming before they're launched, block them by instinct, move in spaces you once fumbled through plotting and blind. The dark nights, the 3 a.m. tears, they shaped a warrior who no longer trembles, no longer waits for permission to move. You are trusted with the secrets of heaven because you proved you could stay standing when nothing made sense. Now let's linger on what happens next. After the storm, after the tables turn, after destiny finds you. This is when God calls you higher, not because you're better, but because you're ready. Brokenness taught you mercy. Silence taught you discernment. Loneliness taught you presence. Now those lessons are weapons. You don't take credit, you don't chase fame, but you lead with a humility that frightens the proud and draws the hungry. You are called to gather the scattered, to tell the truth others are too cautious to voice, to build where things kept crumbling, to plant hope where others buried dreams. Your commission comes with evidence, doors that won't close again, provision that never runs dry, peace deep as a well that can't be emptied. The map isn't full yet, but you're no longer afraid of detours. Delay doesn't scare you. You trust the blocking as much as the blessing, the no as much as the yes. So now, in this new room at this new height, doors close behind you but none in front. The labels they tried to put on you don't stick. The rumors have gone quiet. The silence has become your sanctuary, your shield, your launch pad. You bless those who cursed you, forgave those who left no apology, and in your rising you clear a path for every soul still stuck in an old hallway, waiting for a door only heaven can open. The evidence of your reversal will shout louder than your wounds. The sound of your commission will drown out every lie they ever told about you. You are not here by luck. You are not standing because of their permission. This is your time. This is the year destiny refuses delay. Right now, let the decree hit. What was stolen gets returned, multiplied, never lost again. What was denied comes rushing in, open-handed over the brim. Where they targeted your end, their heaven reveals your origin story. Where they orchestrated your obscurity, suddenly you stand center stage, noted, needed, and named. Every locked door became a gate for glory. Every no from earth became a yes from heaven. Every saboteur lost their power the moment you kept showing up. This is reversal, this is vindication, this is divine commission signed in scars and sealed in worship. They planned your reduction, but you increase. They sowed your isolation, but you rise with tribe and testimony. They prayed for your exit, but here you stand. Appointed, anointed, unstoppable. Suddenly, overnight and forever now. Let me show you how the path of reversal isn't a sudden leap from pain to power, but a sequence of moments where what once looked like setback begins to look more and more like setup. Listen to me. Right now, you are walking through rooms you never saw coming and facing opportunities you once could only imagine. Plans fall into place with a precision that mocks the confusion of last year. Invitations arrive that carry the weight of honor, not pity. Right now, people who once doubted you quietly shift their tone. They study your steps. They want to learn how you stood when the tide was against you. They're not just watching for you to fall anymore. They're hoping to catch even a fragment of what's resting on your life now. It's not that everyone who left is coming back, and not everyone who stayed has your trust. The real reversal is this. You no longer crave their validation. The inner hunger for being seen by them, chosen by them, is replaced by the certainty that you stand chosen by God Himself. Their applause feels small. Their silence no longer stings. You notice how your mood no longer swings with their words or their withdrawal. And that is freedom, chosen one. Freedom so deep the silence is now a blessing. The space left by their absence becomes your sanctuary for fresh vision, deeper peace, and the kind of clarity that can't be contaminated by the crowd. Let me tell you how this reversal seeps into your daily life in real and ordinary ways. Right now, you rediscover joy doing the things you abandoned in sorrow. You catch yourself humming at dawn, energy rising when you thought you'd still be dragging. You eat and taste flavor again. Laughter slips through your lips without effort. The heaviness that used to sit on your chest, steady, choking, lifts day by day. You see colors more vivid, catch the small signs. An unexpected text from someone who matters, an agreement reached without struggle, a note of encouragement out of nowhere. These aren't just random gifts. These are confirmations that the reversal is active. Touching what's small as well as what's grand. The world feels open again. Possibilities not just pie in the sky, but unfolding, step by step, with you in the center. Here's how vindication will continue to work on your behalf, tangibly, undeniably. There will be moments when the truth comes to light so clearly that even your loudest doubters grow quiet. The stories hidden by others finally emerge, motives become exposed, and those who played politics or deceit are caught in their own traps. Documents surface, private conversations are revealed. People who were pressed into silence find their voice and speak what really happened. You don't have to yell or plead your innocence. Silence becomes your defender, time your best witness. Right now, vindication is that invisible strength that keeps you composed under scrutiny, allows you to move forward with confidence while others chase their own shadows. In the boardroom, in the group chat, in family gatherings, in public spaces, the narrative turns in your favor. Not just for a moment, but for good. Not privately, but in places where it actually matters. Let me show you how vindication affects your name, your history, your legacy. Even those who never met you, who heard only rumors, begin to see another story unfold. New allies come to your defense, sometimes even publicly, challenging the old narrative, setting the record straight, shifting the tide. Your reputation, dragged and doubted for so long, becomes a shield and a fragrance. People want to be associated with your work, your wisdom, your witness. Where there was once suspicion, now there is respect. Where there was gossip, now there is honor. You watch as doors open not just for you, but for those connected to you, all because your name carries new weight. Washed by sorrow, pressed by ridicule, polished through perseverance. Let me explain how the commission becomes clear and direct. As you step further into restoration, your calling crystallizes. You no longer fumble for what you're supposed to do, what you're meant to build. The assignment feels custom-made for the scars you carry, the battles you've survived. You recognize now that your pain was not pointless. It was preparation for this precise work. People start drawing near, making space for your leadership, seeking your counsel, trusting your process. What once was hard to articulate now sounds simple. You're here to lift, to heal, to build, to break chains that held you and others captive. The longing to escape is gone. Now there's a drive to occupy, to anchor, to establish what was missing in every room you entered. This is not ambition talking. This is legacy unfolding. A legacy born of weeping, seeded in the midnight hour and grown into fruit in the full light of morning. Let me take you back to those 3 a.m. nights just for a moment so you can see the contrast. Then you walked the halls in darkness, afraid the sun might never rise for you. Now sometimes sleep still flees, but for a different reason. You're awake with hope, scribbling visions, mapping plans, praying over details that used to overwhelm you. This energy, it's not anxiety but anticipation. It's not dread but holy readiness for what's next. You see how what the enemy wanted to use to torment you has become the very alarm clock for your destiny. Where once tears fell in frustration, now they come in gratitude that nothing, no rejection, no loss, no slander, was ever able to stop what God appointed. The courage inside you today is the answer to every fear that tried to lay you low. Chosen one, let me describe how you wield this authority now. In meetings, your presence settles the room. In negotiations, your discernment is sought. Others take notice. You are not bitter, not hardened, not hesitant, not desperate. Instead, your yes means something. Your no is respected. People sense it. You are trusted with more because you no longer grasp for crumbs. You have learned to wait for the whole table to be set. You no longer move just because others say move. You move when heaven says move. Relationships shift again now by your choosing. You select your confidants, guard your heart, form partnerships not out of need but purpose. You stand as a gatekeeper, not a wallflower, granting access where you sense alignment, gently moving aside where you sense hindrance. This is holy stewardship, not petty exclusion. You protect what heaven is building through your life. Now let me tell you about the ripple effect of your commission. As you step forward, others who watched you struggle begin to rise themselves. Your breakthrough sets a new standard. Your resilience becomes their permission. Testimonies spread. If they made it, maybe so can I. You find yourself not just surviving, but mentoring, guiding, championing those behind you. The attacks that used to cripple you can't find your address anymore. Accusations bounce off, scarcity flees, shame dissolves. Now your very presence sponsors courage in rooms that once felt cold. Where you once were overlooked, you now become the advocate for the unseen. Where you once were silenced, you now champion the voices still trembling, still fearful. Every wound on your journey becomes a key to open prison doors for others. Let me show you how provision flows in this commission. Things you used to strain to secure start finding you. Connections, finances, opportunities, ideas, they chase you. You don't have to pitch yourself desperately. Your history speaks, your fruit testifies, your faith attracts what you need. Even when resistance surfaces, it's nothing more than proof that you're building in contested territory, ground worth the fight. Provision feels different now. Steady, gentle, just in time, more than enough. You meet deadlines, fulfill responsibilities, heal relationships, not by force, but by favor. Every area that suffered lack begins to flourish, often in ways you never strategized, and you finally understand you are living under open heaven. Let me make this plain. All those doors that slammed shut did not determine your destiny's worth. They were simply devices to direct your steps. Their turning away became the clearest proof that your future required a greater environment, a deeper partnership, a higher call. Nothing they locked, nothing they whispered, nothing they stole could cap what God's hand was writing over your life. They may have tried to reroute you, but every detour was a doorway. Every no a new assignment, every ending a new beginning in disguise. Chosen one, hear the decree as it echoes. Every weapon forged, broken and scattered. Every accusation raised, refuted and returned to sender. Every door locked, now replaced with gates of favor, swinging wide and will not close again. They mistook your silence for weakness. Now your wisdom stuns their certainty. They marked you for isolation. Now you multiply in influence and friendships that stick closer than brothers. They planned cycles of lack, but abundance overruns your boundaries. They cast you to the margins, but the center shifted. They thought their label would last, but heaven's word outlasts them all. You outlast every lie, you outrun every limitation. Right now, in this year of sorting, you stand vindicated, recommissioned, set apart. Doors that matter swing open, blessings that last pour in. Legacy is stamped on your journey, not someday, not later, but suddenly, overnight now. Let me take you further into what this new era actually feels like, chosen one. Right now, the air around you hums differently. The pain is not erased, but it no longer owns you. You walk into rooms and sense the old tension has lifted. You're no longer bracing for disappointment, not ducking your head as if you're about to be questioned or cut down. There's a confidence now, not loud or cocky, but woven through your movements, settled in your eyes. You are marked by battles you didn't ask for, seasoned by storms that would have swallowed most. But here you are, upright, breathing legacy, shifting the atmosphere everywhere you go. Look at what begins happening as the reversal takes root in your daily world. Projects that once stumbled now move with surprising momentum. A single yes starts a domino chain, a referral, a recommendation, an open door you never saw coming. Delays turn into breakthroughs without drama. People you never met before reach out, referencing your name with respect, holding opportunities with both hands, eager to build. The very ideas they called reckless now look like foresight. The things they dismissed suddenly become envy in others' mouths. You're not chasing after relevance now. Doors are turning on their hinges and favor is propelling you into spaces once barricaded to you. That favor is tangible. It starts small. Invoices getting paid early. Meetings that once required begging now initiated by others. It scales up. Contracts that sidestepped you last season suddenly come corrected, not needing you to prove your worth. In boardrooms, on calls, in casual interactions, something About you commands trust you never had to ask for. It's not what you said or did. It's what you kept enduring, what you kept stewarding with character. Let me show you the reversal around your reputation, not just in public, but among those who once knew only the distorted shadows of your name. There are people reaching out to apologize. Not everyone, but enough that you know it's not coincidence. They want to set the record straight, admit what they heard wasn't true, confess that they doubted you but have been watching, and now they see something that convicts them. Those apologies don't feel like the reward. They're just signposts, reminders that truth always crawls back to the surface. And here's the real proof. Your name starts getting spoken in rooms you never entered. People you looked up to now look for you. Doors fling open not because you handed out your resume or begged for attention, but because the weight of your survival has become your greatest calling card. People speak of your consistency, your resilience, how you handled betrayal without bitterness. They share what you didn't know they ever noticed. How you stayed generous, how you stayed honest, how you prayed for those who tried to break you. Vindication isn't drama. It's the silent, steady transformation of how your legacy is read. Let me take you into the commission that hits when heaven trusts you with more than you knew to ask for. You enter this new chapter with the kind of humility that no classroom, no mentor, no textbook could ever teach. You walk taller, but you walk lighter. Free from having to prove anything. Free from measuring yourself against those who never carried what you've carried. Your vision grows clearer. You start dreaming wider, not in fantasy, but in clarity, with crisp steps mapped out in your spirit. You take bold action not out of desperation, but out of an awareness that this is your lane and nobody can bully you out of it again. You're trusted now with secrets. People open up to you who never would have before because they sense a safety, a knowing, a compassion that can't be faked. People who were throwing stones last season are now asking for strategies, for your blessing, for your prayers. You don't withhold. You don't retaliate. You remember your own wilderness and you pour freely, knowing every act of mercy cuts through the residue of the past. You are commissioned not just to build, but to mend, to restore, to gather the scattered, to relight the torches in others' hands until a whole path blazes behind you. Right now, let me invite you to see the fruit of your endurance. What once felt wasted is now the source of your wisdom. The trauma becomes testimony, the failure becomes blueprints, the sleepless nights become seeds for relentless hope. There is a peace now, heavy, durable, unshakable. The triggers that used to unravel you are met with stillness. New storms may still form around you, but they don't get inside you. You are no longer made of thin glass. You are forged steel shaped by grace. You remember the long nights with a strange gratitude, not because you miss them, but because on the far side of that pain, you can finally see what it produced. It made you honest. It made you kind. It made you unpretentious in corridors where ego overruns everything. You walk quietly into rooms buzzing with status games and you reset the temperature. You know your worth. It can't be stripped, not anymore. Let's talk about how resources shift in this new chapter. Chosen one. Provision meets you before the need multiplies. Bureaucratic delays vanish. Paperwork gets signed. Approvals are streamlined. Where once you had to scrape and stretch, now what you need arrives on time. Not a moment too late or too soon. People show up for you, voluntarily, faithfully. Help comes unbidden from unlikely places. Even the work you outgrew is honored. You're paid from streams you forgot existed, royalties from seeds sown long ago. You start receiving invitations, grants, surprises, returns you didn't calculate. These are not random. These are the result of a harvest that had to mature underground before it could break the soil. You steward it without fear because lack no longer controls you. You are generous without anxiety, giving with laughter, freeing others to stop measuring every cent, every outcome, every exchange. You move in abundance without arrogance, aware of how quickly tables can turn. Let me show you the reversal in relationships, not just in numbers, but in depth. The ones who stuck out the storm with you, your tribe, your real ones, you find a new appreciation for them. The bond is stronger, the laughter truer, the trust deeper. Those strategic connections that felt forced in the old season fall away for good. You don't mourn their exit, you bless it. In their place, God sends people who see you not as competition, but as kin. You find yourself mentoring, speaking life, praying with boldness in small circles and big ones. Old rivals become new collaborators. Even those who wounded you can't rattle you anymore. You move with such clarity and peace that their drama has no headline in your story. Those who return seeking second chances may find grace, but they must also face the growth in you. Forgiveness flows easily now because you no longer need payback to feel whole. You're already healed, already full, already sent. Do you see what's unfolding? The very facts that were used to criticize you are now the evidence of why you're trusted with more. The scars prove your faithfulness. Your softness under pressure proves your authority. This is the commission you wear. To walk into chaos with peace, to answer invitations with discernment, to model what freedom looks like in a world obsessed with paybacks. You carry legacy now. You are yourself living proof that nothing in the hands of heaven stays wasted, not a single heartbreak, not a single empty hour. Chosen one hears what is happening even now as you step deeper into this commission. The people who prophesied your limitations are having to watch your expansion. The ones who thought they could cap your influence now see doors swing wide that were never open to them. You walk unapologetically, yes, but you walk with the humility of one who knows what it is to be left out, to be last, to feel forgotten. And that humility is fragrant. It sets you apart, draws favor, attracts helpers, opens even more gates. The gifts you cultivated in private are now requested publicly. Without striving or hustling, you find yourself in rooms built for your voice, spaces shaped for your story. Heaven's appointment is unmistakable, so I say, let every reversal, vindication, and commission be sealed over you without resistance. Let the words spoken against you dissolve into nothing. Let those who misunderstood you now see you for who you are, unchained, unhindered, undiminished. Let every closed door be replaced by a double portion, every old accusation drowned out by new evidence. Let the work of your hands find favor that can't be reversed. Let the years of lack be restored sevenfold. Let every heart that watched for your exit now be forced to witness your steady rise. You did not shrink. You did not surrender. You did not disappear. They orchestrated your decline, but you emerged as a builder of futures. They weaponized silence, but you became a song. They hoped your waiting would break you, but it built you in all the places that couldn't be shaken. You are not finished. You are just beginning. Every reversal is permanent. Every vindication is public. The commission is lifelong, unbreakable, unstoppable. Chosen one, right now, over you, all at once, suddenly overnight, the blessing is multiplied. The gates swing open, the legacy is secure. You take your place, you rise, you answer the call, and you do not fall. Now,